everyone, and welcome to this video. This is a Math 081 video that's about adding and subtracting signed numbers. So there are many different ways to think about or understand how to do this process of adding and subtracting signed numbers. The three that I'm going to be covering in this video and subsequent videos are the money method, number line, and using signed chips. In all three of these episodes, I'm going to be emphasizing this idea that the negative sign belongs to the number. So it's really extremely important that you understand that, for example, the number -4 is not the same as the number 4. They have very different meanings, and in fact, they have opposite meanings. So, for example, if you sort of use a metaphor of language, and you said, for example, Bob is sick. Sorry, that's not what I meant, right? If you said Bob is sick, right? And then if you said Bob is not sick, right? You know, just from reading, from your understanding of the English language, that these have opposite meanings. Unfortunately, in mathematics, because both of these share the number 4, many people almost think of -4 as being the same thing, okay? And -4 and 4 are the same thing just as much as Bob being sick is the same as Bob not being sick, okay? They're not the same, they're very much opposite. Now, the last thing I want to say before I get into the method of the money method is that my overall goal in Math 081 is to increase your math fluency. Now, as I've been teaching these developmental math courses over the years, many of my students will still, anytime they have a problem that looks like -4 plus 5 or, -6 minus 16, they will not do this by hand. They can't do it in their head. They always use a calculator. So I would say that that's a plausible option. And again, some people choose to do that no matter what. My goal for you is to get you to the point where you can do this sort of thing in your head without a calculator, or at the very least you have a sense of, for example, when you add 4 and -5, you could at least tell yourself whether it's going to be a positive or negative answer just by looking at it. Okay, and the same thing, with like -6 minus 16, is that going to be a positive or a negative number? And again, that's really going back to this idea of math fluency. If you think about when you were a little kid and you just started to read, right, every time you saw a word, maybe you could recognize like 10 words, and then everything else you had to use like phonics and sound out. And that's kind of how math is, right? We learn some basic things, like maybe we know that 1 plus 2 is 3, and we know our addition facts up to, through 10 or something like that, right? But then as you get bigger and larger numbers, sometimes you have to actually do a little bit more thinking and calculation. So again, my goal for you is to increase your fluency, to increase your ability to do problems like this without the aid of technology. Okay, so I'm going to end this video, and then I'm going to start another video which will introduce the first of these methods, which will be the money method. So stay tuned.